How you doing, people? Robert here. I want to do this video, the conflict of interest. Now, what do I mean when I say conflict of interest? We have a legal system, legal society, and people think that that legal system, legal society represents the sovereign man, the sovereign woman. It does not. It represents corporations. The man or woman from the birth certificate has been incorporated, as stated time and time again, with the entity ID from Scotland People website. On the receipt it tells you have an entity ID and it's all capital name, and the format on the extract of the birth certificate you get is entirely different. Now, how do we have a conflict of interest? And the reason being, the corporations are colluding and conspiring against the men and women of the lands of England, Wales and Scotland and Ireland, and that's a fact. And this can be seen specifically over the last 3 and a bit years with what's been going on. How the corporations have worked against the people to steal their rights, inalienable inherent rights, fining people, unlawfully locking people up because of rules, regulations and policies created by this legal system, legal society. Now, a lot of people out there think legal is the same as lawful. Two entirely different systems running parallel, people. Again, legal is for the person. As I keep saying in every video that I do, person is incorporated. It's a fiction, a corporation, an entity, a dead entity. Like, as I said before, the last video I did, I was explaining corporate entities like Council, Police Scotland, NHS, and other things, etc., etc. Now, this system has been set up to deny the people their rights and steal from the people. Massive money laundering's going on with this system. Councils and everybody else, politicians and everybody else. Now, recently, they cut off 22+ million off the care sector for the elderly and everything else, for the care sector that protects the people who's vulnerable and ill. And they also cut at the same time 30 million off the budget, right? But what the people don't realise is that everything's getting done right in front of their face, under their nose, and they can't see it because they're not looking, they're not paying attention, and they've been indoctrinated. Now, you've got the BBC, ITV and all these networks putting out a message. They work for the corporations, people. They're bought and paid for by the corporations. They're getting millions of pounds off the corporations to indoctrinate the people with lies, and the people are listening to these lies. It's like when you listen to the Scottish Parliament or Westminster, you see them all sitting and they make it look like they're all arguing with each other. That's an illusion, people. The thing of the matter is, when you, the man or woman, registers to vote, you're converted to a person. This is how the system works. And what happens is, the system's manipulated to keep control. Now, you've got shops now refusing cash. They're starting to bring in this face recognition nonsense, right? Why is that? Because they're all working cahoots together, people. That's why. They're trying to control our lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales and beyond. This is a worldwide problem. It's an epidemic of lies, confusion and indoctrination. Because people think that these men and women representing corporations have the power to do what they want, when they actually don't have the power to do what they want. And the sooner people wake up, smell the coffee, then they'll know. It's like when the man or woman registers to vote, you're signing your inalienable inherent rights away to a corporation, and you've been converted into a corporation. You've already been converted into a corporation from the birth certificate. When you came into this planet from your mother that created you, you came in free. And the only thing that bound you is the birth certificate, because your mother and father was informants. They weren't aware that they were signing into a contract. There was no full disclosure terms and conditions. And as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to challenge this shortly, people, the birth certificate is null and void. Myself and every man and woman cannot be held surety and liable for that birth certificate or son and daughter. It's based in fraud. And anything based in fraud is null and void from the beginning. And that's a fact in law. Do your research and you'll see what I'm talking about. I give you the information, people, but it's your job to be diligent and look into what you're being told and verify it for yourself. That way, you're educating yourself, okay? And as I say, I verify everything I say in any video is I'm required, and I will, if I'm required to swear under a charge of perjury in any court jurisdiction in the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland or Wales, or beyond. That includes the Supreme Court and the Court of Session in Edinburgh. They're even corporations. The Crown Procurator, Fiscal Crown Office is corporations. Walker and Love, Scotland Coast, Stirling Park, social services, councils, they're all corporations, and they've got to keep this illusion of authority, illusion of power going to keep you tied in their system. If people was to wake up, everybody was to wake up tomorrow and realise what was going on, things would be rapidly changed. Let me tell the people. People are walking about, and I see them in the street, they're walking about like a fart in a trance. And it can't be done, right? You have to wake up, smell the coffee, people. And the reason you have to smell the coffee is because we're coming to dangerous times. You've got the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, trying to take control worldwide with the corporations, United Nations and everybody else. Like, Sunak says that he's going to sign the sovereignty of the United Kingdom over to them to do what they want and make rules, regulations and policies. It's not law to control the people, abuse the people, steal from the people, right? Control the people. We can't have that, people. He's quite happy to sign that over. He can't sign that over. The reason for that is, people, is because the United Kingdom is a corporation. It's not sovereign, right? It's not sovereign. It's a corporation. Signing over that is signing it over to another corporation. They're all corporations, people. They're nothing to do with the sovereign man, sovereign woman, sovereign son or sovereign daughter. Now, even the language, they're trying to change all the language, what you can say, what you can't say, how you can describe a man or a woman, how you can describe your grandmother, grandfather, change the names and all the rest of it. They're trying to take everything and control and indoctrinate the people, and we can't have it. We the people are the power. We the people are the authority. It's just getting the people to wake up and realise that. 3 things that has to be stopped here is stop filling in census forms, because that gives joinder with them and their system. You become a person. As I said time and time again, the Finance Act 1992, council tax, person relevant or persons relevant, liable, inhabitant, tenant, owner, all legal terminology. This is where the manipulation of the legalese comes in, people, and this is a fact. Now, when these people have titles, First Minister, Presiding Officer, Lord McCluskey, Lady Doran, that's titles. That's a mask that these people hide behind. Council is another mask that men and women hide behind, people. This is how they're getting away with what they're doing. If they're a corporation, what is the first thing that people need with a corporation? You need a contract. You need full disclosure. You're required to know the terms and conditions of that contract. You have to have the meeting in their minds, and you must or are required to consent. If none of these are agreeable, there is no contract. The system, like 3 Network, Vodafone, EE, etc., when they speak to people on the phone, they're using, people think that they're talking to them as a man or woman. They're talking to you as a corporation. And on the phone, when you talk to these people, they're manipulating the language to legalese. You're walking into legalese traps and being drawn in. There is no man or woman, as I said before, called EE, Vodafone or 3 Network, right? It's all a fraud. I've proved this because I've had umpteen disputes with these people, and I've asked them for a man or woman called 3, Vodafone or EE, 3 examples. And I've been told there is no man or woman called that, right? And this is how people are getting screwed right, left and centre by these corporations. like as I said before in the last video, I think it was, parking tickets. It tells you on the ticket, Glasgow City Council. There is no wet ink signature. There is no name. Council tax notice. No wet signature. No computer generated name. Again, Glasgow City Council, Edinburgh Council, Aberdeen Council. There is no man or woman called these people. And as soon as these people wake up, smell the coffee. As I said, there's a conflict of interest here because they're all working together. They're manipulating rules, regulations and changing the language to suit, to entrap the people. And how they do that? When you get debt collectors or criminals come say that you owe money. Where do these people for these debt collecting agencies get that authority to say that you owe money? Because firstly, they're using right words and conduct to deceive and defraud. They're using coercion to nullify a man or woman's rights because they're being treated as a person, a fiction, corporation. They're using threats to force act or choice. And this is what the people don't understand. There's two definitions here, people. Persuasion or coercion. And 99.9% of the time, you're not being persuaded, you're being coerced because they're using threats of intimidation, threats of force to steal your property, your money out your bank accounts, right? The banks are included in this, people. They're all together and it all ties back to one thing, two things. The status of person, capitis diminutio, where the person is created and the man or woman's status is diminished to that person, that corporation, that entity. Remember, people, this system is a very clever system. It's been manipulated in a way that people have been indoctrinated to believe that these people in this system have the right to do what they do. These people don't have any right to coerce, threaten, bully, unlawfully arrest, unlawfully detain, put fixed penalties or fines on people, right? And that's the thing. It's like when you go to these Glasgow Sheriff Court, for instance, men and women use a lawyer, liar, a whore, a Babylon, or a solicitor. There's a conflict of interest, as I've said time and time again previously. Within that administrative hearing, it's not a court. The building's a court. The people own that building. The people pay for that building. But what's in that building is a corporate place of business. As I said before, when you get into the box known as a dock, you become a person. They do not recognise, they do not see, and they do not hear the man or woman. That's why they recommend that men and women get legal representation. And the reason they use the word legal representation is because they're diminishing your capacity and status from a man or woman to a person. Now, the conflict of interest in there, you have lawyers, you have procurator fiscals, men and women acting in the capacity of procurator fiscals, solicitors, and on the bench, sheriffs, right? Now, the conflict of interest is they're all part of a bar association, i.e. the Law Society of Scotland, where these people pay into this private corporation. I've proved in previous videos that some of the sheriffs on that bench are ex-procurator fiscals. So the question that has to be answered here is, if you have an ex-procurator fiscal sitting on a bench known as a bank, running a fake trial, how can you possibly be getting treated fairly if that man or woman on the bench is an ex-procurator fiscal and they're dealing with a procurator fiscal that's brought a fake complaint against the man or woman? The lawyer, liar, they're taking you in there, committing fraud, willfully and deliberately, diminishing your capacity. They know exactly what they're doing, people. They play this game every day, every week, every month, every year. They know exactly what they're doing. It's a rigged, I've heard the term before, where did I hear it? I heard the term a rigged casino. Every part of this system is a casino and it's rigged. Alright, people, it's rigged. There is no winning with this system. This system has to be destroyed and changed. That's the only way that the sovereign men, women, sons and daughters are going to get changed. We have to remove consent. We have to stop filling in census forms. We have to stop registering to vote. I don't vote, never voted, and we have to stop voting. We have to form a sovereign government because there is no impartiality in this system. When you make a complaint against the police, it's the police that's dealing with the complaint. When you make a complaint to the council, it's the council to do it. That's why they've got a complaints procedure. And as I said before, complaint means nothing. Complaint means that if I go to a cafe, I buy a cup of coffee, sit down at the table and it's cold, I go back and I moan at the staff and say, this is cold, I just bought this a minute ago and it's cold. That's a complaint, people. You can't get locked up for a complaint. This is where they're manipulating the wording, as I've told you before, in the system. Please, people, pay attention to what you're being told. It's important that you listen to Anti-Corruption Scotland. Anti-Corruption Scotland is well ahead of the game. We know the game. I've played it for 12 years and I know exactly how it works. Every part of this system. And it's all based in constructive fraud, criminal conversion and identity theft. And we can't allow it to happen anymore, people. This system has to be shut down. That is the only answer to this. When you vote, you get the Green Party, Labour Party, Tory Party, Lib Dem Party, etc., Conservative Party. Does not matter, people, who the man or woman votes in. They're all part of the same fraud. And an example of that is when the COVID scamdemic nonsense started. They all voted to screw the people. Every one of them were guilty. And every one of them have voted for all these rules, regulations and policies. Conducted genocide against the elderly. Lockdowns. Can't you get to see your family? Who's got the right to stop anybody from seeing their mother, father, son or daughter in a hospital or a care home? No man or woman has that right. And the reason, again, is because people have been indoctrinated to believe that these people that represent these corporations have the power and the authority to abuse the people's rights. Well, people, it's time to take these rights back. It's time to stand up and be counted. It's time to come together and nip this in the bud. Through time, I'll be doing another video relating to that main topic, remedy. What is remedy and how do we get it? It's easy, people. So easy. All we need is 51% of the people of Scotland, or 52%, and we can shut this Scottish government down. They can't form a government. Doesn't matter if the other 48% are the numpties out there that register to vote and vote. The majority get it. That's the way the rules work. And that's the way the law works, right? We can take Scotland back. We don't need an independent Scotland. All we have to do is remove the scumbags, the traitors to the people of Scotland, the traitors to the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, and take Scotland back. Then when the people form a sovereign government, then we have control. All the damage that's been done with these people against our people, men and women, sons and daughters, the elderly, we can go back after them people and make them pay for what they have done, the harm, the loss and injury they have caused our people. No more corporations. We have to end the corporation cycle. Impartiality and transparency and people to work for the people for the right reasons. We don't need all these parties. All we require is a sovereign government with the people, selected by the people, and change will happen. We control. We tell the corporations what they're doing. They don't tell us what they're doing. Right, people? I hope you get the gist of what I've said in this video. It's quite short, but it's the truth of the matter. And again, I'm prepared and required to swear this under a charge of perjury in any court jurisdiction in the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland or Wales or beyond, because this is a worldwide problem. All these governments, the entities known as governments and corporations are working together worldwide. This isn't just about Scotland, the lands of Scotland. And remember, we, the people, are on the landmass of Scotland. When you stand in that road, you walk in that road, you walk in the park, you're on the landmass, you're on the land. Scotland is a corporation. As I said time and time again, the United Kingdom Corporation, you have England, Ireland and Wales. That's part of that corporation, the branches on the three. The United Kingdom is a parent corporation. And this all can be found out and done in Bradstreet, people. I've got other numbers. I've already did a video listing all their names and numbers and addresses. Time for you to wake up and realise everything isn't as what it seems. And it's time for us to stand up and be counted. Stop listening to the bullshit, the lies, the tyranny that's been used against the people, the indoctrination with the media. It's time to put an end to it. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, because we're coming to dangerous times, and these times have to be nipped in the bud before they go any further. Enough is enough, people. Please share this information far and wide. And I would like to thank the people that's watched this video. And I would like to also thank the people for giving me the time to be heard, and the people that support my YouTube, Facebook. I'm happy with that, people. Please, people, pay attention to what Anti-Corruption Scotland's tell you. We are the real deal. We will fight, but we, at this present time, don't have the numbers. And again, I don't know why. Anyway, people, please share this far and wide. Cousins, aunties, uncles, friends, neighbours, and get that information out there. It's important that people pay attention, really pay attention, right? Everything in this video is true and accurate. That's a fact, people. Anyway, people, you people take care, be safe, and I'll speak again soon. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you for giving me your time. Bye-bye, people.